Doing an oil change this morning on a 2015 Jeep Patriot, 2.4 liter engine, two-wheel drive. So once you get the hood up and all that, it's pretty straightforward. I'm going to walk you through the steps here. So you want to remove the oil cap. I'm going to put 5W20 in this. I got some Amsoil OE full synthetic oil. Then we're going to pull a dipstick out. Alright, this takes 4.5 quarts of oil. So generally you'll buy 5 quarts and then just have one spare extra laying on the side. So we're going to use Amsoil full synthetic 5W20 and an Amsoil filter. You can find all these products on Amsoil.com, and you have a vehicle guide there you can click on that'll walk you through putting in all your information. Alright, so we're going to start with the jack and the jack location. Let's get down here. Alright, so I don't know how well you can see it here, but the jack needs to be on a solid piece. So you can see right here is a piece of cross member that's good steel, and you want the jack to go up right there, and that's how you want to lift the vehicle, because if you lift from anywhere up here on this plastic sheet, you're just going to crush it. This is a cover for the engine, keeps things from flying up in the engine bay, and also improves fuel mileage. Alright. Okay, next step we're going to worry about here is jack stand location. Now make sure you have proper jack stands that are good shape, not bent, and meet the weight capacity of the vehicle. Or not weight capacity, but the weight of the vehicle. So where I generally put these, on a vehicle such as this, you're going to find a little cutout in the trim, and that's going to be your pinch weld right there. That's a strong point. As the factory specified jack location. So if you use your spare tire jack, that's where you'd want to use it. You want to make sure these are the same on both sides. So we got 8 notches there, and then we're going to go to the other side and do the same thing. And I'll be over here in a second. And once your jack stands are set, you're going to want to set the vehicle down on jack stands. You should have chopped the back wheel when you're jacking it up. That way the vehicle won't roll back on us. You'll see this is a nice and easy process. And it just sits down, and then you lower the jack and get it out of your way. Alright, so once you get your vehicle up on jacks, you're going to want to put a oil pan underneath, and you can see this is looking from the front of the vehicle here. We have our oil filter bumper and then oil filter cutout, and then as you come along over here, your next cutout is going to be for your drain bolt. And this is a size 13 on this, and then you're just going to break this loose, and then once you break it loose, you're going to remove it, and the oil will proceed to drain out. Alright, now you always want to have a rag handy too, because once you break this loose and start unthreading it, oil is going to start coming out. It gets a little messy, but it's not going to be too bad. And so it should be pretty clean, as we're still fairly within spec. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's a little dark, but so just let that drain out until there's nothing left draining. I'm going to do something real quick in the meantime. Alright, now as you can see, most of our oil is drained out completely. So we're going to go ahead and reinstall our drain bolt, nice and cleaned up. Now, some drain bolts have gaskets on them that are replaceable. This particular model has a drain bolt that has a permanent gasket attached to it. As long as the rubber around the end of the screw isn't dry rotted or anything, and the end of the bolt isn't dry rotted, then you should be in good shape. And just snug that back up. Doesn't have to be super tight, but you want it tight enough that it doesn't leak. So next up, we're going to do the oil filter. Now this is a handy little tool. There's an oil filter wrench I got a few years ago from Mac Tools. Goes on the end of any 3/8 ratchet, as you can see. And then we're going to back up here to where the oil filter's at. I'll give you a better view maybe, if we can. Let's see here. Try to get this camera positioned right. This is a trick. Alright, right about there looks good. There, you should be able to see the oil filter removal. We're just going to take this up, slide it up over the oil filter. Sometimes you got to put it in the tighten position to open it, and then put it in the loosen position and give it a nice twist, and it'll clamp down on it and break it loose. Once it's loose, it's pretty straightforward. Just take it off by hand. This part does also get a little messy because it's a vertical feed filter, so oil tends to run down the side of it once you start breaking it loose. No worries though, oil is easy to clean off. So I'm gonna put that right in there. And then you want to always make sure that the gasket came off with it. So you poke up here and take a look. And you can take a towel up there and wipe that surface off. You can see, yeah, gasket came off with it just as we wanted. Alright, so now we got a tight drain bolt and we got a filter off. So now let's go prep the new filter for installing. Now, this is a step a lot of people miss normally, but I'm going to show you how to do it, and you'll understand that it's pretty important. So this is your new oil filter. I'm just going to take the plastic off of this. You see there's a nice new gasket right there and no oil in it. So when this goes on, the engine's going to try pulling oil, and this is going to be dry. So what you want to do before you install it is take just a little bit of your new oil and you want to prime the filter. So you're going to pour that into the filter, straight into the center there. It doesn't matter if you get a little on the top of it. And this is going to get it all into the element inside the filter. Some are paper, some are fiber. And then once it's all good and full up, put a little bit on the top here, and you want to just go around this gasket ring. Nice and easy. Alright, so now our filter's primed and we're ready to go back in. Alright, this is another important note with the filters that some people don't realize. You only want these filters to be hand tight. You don't want to really torque them down because they will get tighter over time as you drive. Heat, expansion causes them to tighten up and get a little snug and hard to get off. That's why we have to use the special tools there to take them off. Alright, you'll make sure it's good and tight by hand. Wipe everything clean. Alright, and now you're good to come down off the jacks and put the fresh oil in. So we'll be back. Alright, now we're going to lower the vehicle down off the jack stands. As you can see here, putting the jack on a nice solid piece of cross member, just like we did when we jacked it up. And then once we go up, we're going to lower those jack stands. That'll be nice and easy. And we'll bring her down. Same thing, you always want to make sure your back wheel's chopped when you're moving the vehicle on the jacks, because it can roll around, especially when you're working on a slope like I am here. once that's done, we're going to back up, give the jack a little twist on the handle, and down she comes. Alright, our next step is going to be to add oil. As you can see, I already put a funnel in here. If you don't have a funnel, fun fact, if you take an old oil bottle, cut it in half, it makes a fantastic funnel. Just make sure it stays clean inside because you don't want any dirt and debris going down in your engine. Alright, we're going to add some oil in this and then start her up. Alright, now we're going to add the last half quart of oil here. We've already put in the 4. So you're just going to do half of this one. And then we're going to check the oil after we let it settle for a second. Just make sure all the oil makes its way down into the pan. That's about half. You want to make sure you have a clean rag or a towel handy for this one. You're going to pull out the dipstick, wipe any old remaining oil off of it. And you always want to make sure this is looking good up here too, because with these plastic dipsticks they tend to get stuck if they're not properly cared for. And I never hurts to add just a little bit of oil. Just grab some residual oil and just wipe it right on top of that there. That's going to help that gasket stay fresh and keep that from sticking down in there and breaking off in the future. Alright, so check your oil. You just push that all the way down in, pull it back out, and you take a look here. And it looks like we're pretty solid. You want to see the oil. I don't know how well you can see it in the light here, but there's a little safe thatch mark right there. As long as the oil's in that, you're good to go. Alright, and one. So start the engine. Now listen for any strange noises. I don't hear any. And the most important thing, you want to look down underneath, specifically where the oil filter was, right here. Make sure no oil is pouring out of there. Also look back by your drain bolt, make sure it's nice and clean too. If oil's pouring out, it means you didn't get your oil filter tight enough or you left the old gasket attached to the engine. Alright, now, last thing you're going to do with the Jeeps, well, the Patriots in particular, is if you notice, we're going to have something on the dash that still tells us to change the oil. Usually it pops up right down here where the door indicator is. So to fix that, you're just going to go key on, and it's going to give you all the alerts and the cycles. Mine doesn't want to tell me to change the oil now. There it goes. So change oil. So now you're going to go 1, 2, 3 on the gas pedal. You want to do it 3 slow pumps in 10 seconds. Turn the key off. And when you turn the key back on, it should not tell you to change the oil anymore. We'll see, just to make sure I did it right. And it looks like I did it. So there is no more change oil indicator. It's been properly reset and we have now changed the oil. Look forward to further videos with different vehicles as I acquire different vehicles. And thank you for watching. Feel free to leave any comments and questions in the post below.